Welcome in. We've reached the back stretch of the high school football season as we kick off week 7. Shane right here with Yanni Crocus. As always, a handful of games still left to go for most teams, so not a lot of time to make adjustments and get ready for the playoffs.
We had some big district matchups last week, a lot of non-district games this week, and we also have some teams on the long road to try to put off that perfect regular season. One of those teams, Boca High.
And the Bobcats trying to make it 6-0 on the season, hosting a one-loss, new-look Royal Palm Beach squad that's already surpassed their win total from last season.
Now, based on this year, you'd think this would be a high-scoring game. That was certainly not the case. Scoreless first quarter. Wildcats going to the ground. Trevin Tipton is stopped at the line, but wait for it. Brody Costello in the end zone with the football. He just ripped it away just like that. 7-0 Bobcats. Wildcats get it back. Next possession, Max Griner deep down the far sideline. Demetrius Gibson, how about the freshman, 42-yard touchdown. And we are tied at 7. Second quarter, Royal Palm looking for more points. Griner loses the football. Amir Holstick looking for the scoop and score, but the ball goes through the back of the end zone. That's a safety. 9-7 Boca leads. Boca's defense with another turnover. Griner looking over the middle, intercepted by Josh Francique. Bobcats turning the ball over all season long, but Royal Palm says, hey, we can do that too. Mason Chapman intercepted by Gibson, the freshman, with another huge play, but believe it or not, no scoring the entire second half. Boca remains perfect, winning 9-7 in a hard-fought game.
All right, Benjamin trying to win their third straight game after an 0-3 start to the season. The Bucks hosting winless Seminole Ridge. Already a 14-0 Benjamin lead, and the Buck defense flexes. Adam Bologon Ali, the junior linebacker with offers from Florida State and Florida, just to name a few, snags it to make it a pick six. 21-0 Benjamin lead. Still in the first quarter. Jaden Vega back at quarterback for Benjamin after missing a few games with a concussion. Finds his big tight end Preston Douglas in the South Carolina commit. Takes it the distance. A 70-yard touchdown. It's now 28-0 Benjamin. Guess what? We're still in the first quarter. And Benjamin wants more. Phoenix Donja takes the handoff and does what he does best, breaking tackles before he's pushed out of bounds. First down, Bucks. Same drive, Donja. A couple of D1 offers from App State and Charlotte. Breaks through the defense for another Bucks touchdown. 35-0 to end the first quarter. Benjamin would roll 49-14. Our community ambassador Mike Lyons doing the honors as number 8. Joaquin Garcia hosts Wellington. This week's community champion, Donald Monroe from Garcia, a paraprofessional on campus who works with the ESE population and much more. The students say he means so much to the school. To the game, Garcia's Caleb Butler, a short pass to Phoenix Taylor, but not much room on the edge there. The Wolverine defense, the story of this game. Butler throwing 3 interceptions tonight. Right here, a pack of Wolverines on the sack. Wellington shuts out Garcia, handing them their first loss of the season, 7-0.
Wow.
Yeah, now to something we're not used to seeing, especially at this point in the season, a winless Treasure Coast team after 5 games.
The Titans playing at number 2 Atlantic tonight, trying to get the offense going. The Titans held under 10 points in all 5 contests. Atlantic, on the other hand, scoring just over 40 a game. But coming off their first loss of the season, Titans down 21-3 at the half. First play of the third quarter, and they cough up the football. Moisey Paul there on the recover. Eagles take over. Atlantic first play from scrimmage in the second half, wasting no time. Lincoln Graff to his favorite receiver, Teddy Hoffman, and the App State commit scores from 25 yards out. 27-3 Eagles. End of the third. TC gets into the end zone after a lengthy drive. Makai Clark dives in from 2 yards out. A 2-point conversion makes this thing a 2-possession game, but the Atlantic defense comes up big and makes the stop before the goal line. Back to the offense. Graff to Legend Pelican, and again he says, I am Legend. 55 yards to the house. And the Eagles win 47-9, improving to 5-1 on the year.
Undefeated at number 1 Cardinal Newman getting a visit from Goldman out of Miami tonight. Just 1 loss on their season. Crusaders with a 14-6 lead in the second quarter. They'd hand it off to Jalen Jabo Brown. Always gets those tough yards inside. That run good enough for a Newman first down. They'd stay with the run game, but this time fake it. Brown to Brown, and Jaron Hughley is going to keep it himself. Picks up some nice yards on the left side for another Newman first down. Crusaders mixing it up now. Hughley hits Brown on the short pass, and he'll do the rest. Gets into the end zone before the half. Touchdown, Newman. Crusaders playing lights out. No, literally, the lights actually went out at halftime. A transformer blew out. So the game was called at that point with Newman getting the win 21-6.
And good electrician over there. All right, number 4, Palm Beach Central looking for their 4th straight win, hosting Palm Beach Gardens. Just 1 win on the year. Central in full control in the second quarter. Chance roots into the sideline. Kamari Williams is there to make the catch for the first down, moving the chains the Broncos' way. Same drive, Nedrick Bolden, the Boston College commit, makes the catch. He finds his way into the end zone, but hold on. Central gets called for holding, so take the points off the board, but not for long. Frankie Romero takes the handoff, untouched to the end zone. Cool runnings for Central tonight, and they win it big, 48-0.
All right, when we return, we're going to head up north to the Treasure Coast. John Carroll tries to stay undefeated. Centennial hosts Okeechobee, and Vero Beach tries to continue their win streak. Plus, our Play of the Week and more next in Football Friday. Back to Football Friday, now to a couple of teams having great bounce-back seasons. Forest Hill with just 1 loss this year so far, playing at undefeated John Carroll, who won just 3 games last year after a 10-win season the year prior.
The Rams made it all the way to the state semis in that 2022 season.
The Falcons' only loss come against Royal Palm Beach a few weeks ago. The Rams wasting no time. It's going to be Jaden Pittman. Remember that name. Takes the handoff at 5'8", 151 pounds. He's hard to hit. Scores from a few yards out to give Carroll the lead. And trust me when I tell you, Pittman is hard to hit. Another jet sweep with a big emphasis on the jet. Slicing his way through the defense. Are not going to catch him. He gets another Rams touchdown. We had all front row seats to the Jaden Pittman show tonight. Jax Vaname is going to go and find who else. It's Pittman. Over the middle, just can't contain him. Another touchdown as John Carroll gets us 6-0 with a 48-8 win.
All right, Okeechobee looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Brahman's making a trip east to Centennial. Second half, Eagles' Mason Brown looking downfield, but he's picked off by the Brahmans' Christopher Evans. Then they pitch it to Felix Jackson on the carry, and Felix Jackson looking like Michael Jackson. Check out those moves. Down the sideline, he's heading for the end zone. Eagles lead by 30 points, and then Centennial closes this one out with some defense. Deep ball hauled in by Jeremiah Michelle, who takes the interception the other way. Centennial wins it 50-13.
A perfect season so far for number 6 Kings Academy, undefeated going into tonight's game against Joshua Christian from Jacksonville. No shortage of scoring. That's Tristan Stewart on the handoff, 5-yard touchdown, but Kings up 7-0. After another Lions score, they're back at it again. Joe Daly rolls out, finds his favorite receiver, Javion Jones, wide open for a touchdown. JJ was done. Yeah, you get it. 31-0 in the second quarter before the half. Get ready to strike up the band one more time. Sammy LaBoy making it look easy. A 45-yard touchdown run. Kings stay undefeated. The dominant 52-0 win.
All right, Vero Beach, they've won 3 straight after an 0-3 start. Indians hosting Booker T out of Miami. Close game. Indians down 7-3 in the second. Freshman phenom quarterback Champ Mons keeps it himself. Dives into the end zone. Indians take the lead. Close game. Fourth quarter. Vero up 17-14. Josh Lanceford helicopters into the end zone for a big insurance touchdown. They block a kick in the final seconds, and Vero holds on 24-21.
All right, our play of the week. Let's go back to the Atlantic and Treasure Coast game in Delray Beach. Eagles, Lincoln Graff to legend Pelican, who juked some defenders. He's going to go 55 yards for a touchdown. What a play by the legend. Eagles win it 47-9.
All right, let's check out the scoreboard, shall we? Dwyer picking up their second win of the year, beating Palm Beach Lakes 35-8. Tough first loss of the season for West Boca on the road against a good Western team in Broward. Western blocking a West Boca extra point in overtime. 28-7. North Broward Prep beats St. John Paul II 35-21. Jupiter improves to 5-1, 44-13 over Suncoast and Jupiter Christian, all over Avant-Garde 56-21.
Martin County beats Palm Bay, a score of 20-7, a close one there down the stretch. St. Lucis traveling all the way out to Midland, Texas. Yes, remember that Midland-Odessa rivalry. Big team out there in Texas. They lose 56-31. And another great college football lineup tomorrow on WPBF 25, starting with number 9 Missouri playing at 25th ranked Texas A&M. And at 3:30, 5th ranked Georgia trying to bounce back from that incredible game against Alabama last week. They're hosting Auburn. And at 7:30 is 4th ranked Tennessee trying to stay undefeated at Arkansas. So another great night of high school football. John Carroll's like, man, can we get some love in the top 10 list?
Yeah,
they're undefeated on the Treasure Coast. We were talking a little bit about this earlier. They're one of the premier teams on the TC right now.
Yeah, and Boca edging out in our game of the week, a really good game against Royal Palm. They should probably stay in our top 10. Cardinal Newman take care of business. Atlantic taking care of business. TC is down this year, which we're not used to seeing. Who else in our top 10? Benjamin looked good. You were there?
Benjamin looked good. West Boca, a close game down at Western, and we'll see if they can bounce back. They got a tough test against Atlantic come up towards the end of the season, with probably our game of the week that week, but they're having a great season, close loss, so I'm pretty sure they'll bounce back from that. So a lot of great games tonight. More great games on the schedule coming up next week when we enter Week 8 of the football season. We'll see you then.